Gary, it's all over here at Ebbsfleet, and of course over now for the season. It's come to an end in the National League South semi-final. Starting there, mate, I think, you know, when you look back at this season as a whole, when you look back at your time with Chippenham, to call ourselves a season over in the National League South semi-final, that's got to be a fantastic achievement, and certainly one for the footnote of yourself.
Yeah, look, as I said all along, it's nothing to do with what's happened over the last 6 or 7 weeks. It's been over something, you know, over the course of the season. So I think, you know, I'm immensely proud. I hope the players are proud of themselves, the group are proud of themselves, the chairman's proud, the fans are proud, and the town's proud, really. And that might seem a little bit of overkill, but what they've achieved this year, that group is like I said, you know, is absolutely amazing in terms of, you know, to come here, what people would term as the so-called, you know, big boys of the league, and they are, make no bones about it, you know, to win, albeit after penalties on Thursday night, and come here again and push a side like Ebbsfleet as far as we have done, and them needing extra time again to beat us. That everybody should be immensely proud, but more importantly, the players should be so proud of their achievements this season.
Gary, we always get a fairly honest and accurate reflection from yourself, even if it's not quite gone our way. So I suppose the game itself we can break down really now by sort of, you know, blow by blow. Another 90 minutes. I thought for the 90 minutes, I thought we looked like we held ourselves quite well. A few chances. It was quite an open game. Talk us through that sort of 90-minute period, Gal. What was your mindset going into the 90?
Yeah. So look, we knew it was going to be tough, having played 48 hours ago, whatever you want to call it. Having gone to extra time. Then using the emotion of the penalty shootout. So look, we had some tired minds and bodies today. We knew that, and I felt we were actually brilliant out of possession today. I think, you know, if I could sum it up, I'd say it was probably one game too far for us. I don't think we had the threat today going forward that we had in the last sort of 6.5, 7 weeks. You know, not that we didn't have our moments. I think we did have our moments, particularly on the counter, quite a few times. But we just lacked that little bit of extra sort of energy today that we'd seen sort of like the last 6 or 7 weeks. I just think, yeah, we had some tired minds, some tired bodies, and that fatigue led to, at times, sloppy's the wrong word, but just some tired passing, really, or tired passing, sorry. Yeah, look, as I said, if I could sum it up in anything, probably just one game too far, and I think, you know, on reflection, I think Ebbsfleet, fair play to them, they're a really good side, and for us to taking them, you know, again into extra time just shows what a good side we are. But they deserve to win on the day, absolutely, make no bones about it. But they played a tiring side.
Heading into the extra time period, Gary, it's I know it's not something that you're familiar with talking about. We haven't really had this question come up over the last sort of 6 or 7 weeks, but I felt that, for me personally, the game almost seemed to get on a switch. I thought the man in the middle had a very good control of the game during the 90 minutes. Very little in the way of flashpoints. I don't know what sort of seemed to go on in the sort of the 30-minute period of extra time, but we just couldn't seem to buy a decision out there. Some very curious decisions from the referee. One down here in the corner with Noah, where I felt he was fouled by 2 people and somehow it's gone the other way. We've had Luke Russ nearly getting kicked in the face down here, and apparently he's got his hands up, therefore it's gone the other way. It's just 30 minutes of just some real baffling decisions. We've had a very dangerous ball whipped in there leading to corners where set pieces were always going to be important down here, and somehow the ball spun off the back of the Ebbsfleet 8, and with no one around him, it's been given for a push. I know that you're probably going to decline to comment on a referee's performance, but it must be quite tricky when you're certainly heading down the stretch after an early goal in extra time, knowing that you need to get something now in the game, and it almost seemed to be stacked against you.
Look, yeah, you're right. I'm not going to mention the referee's performance. I thought we had a good game in terms of, you know, over the 90, things did change a little bit in the last 30, but I think generally things do change when you don't have as much control over the 90, over the 30. You know, they then scored probably a bit of a scrappy goal, really, and then we were chasing the game. So when you are chasing the game, you're a little bit frustrated. It does seem that things aren't going your way. Like I say, a couple of strange decisions, but that didn't define the defeat today. Like I said, you know, it was one game too far.
A couple of big decisions now, obviously, Gary. First and foremost, I would have thought for yourself. You know, the season's come to an end. I know, obviously, that you're speaking with the chairman at the moment, and I believe something has been mentioned between you two. It's probably the wrong time to ask the question, but, you know, when the season comes to a climax like that and you've had such a fantastic ending to it, what are your sort of thoughts now going into this? Is it a case of get away, clear your head for a couple of days, spend a bit of time with Claire and the kids, and just sort of maybe think about what you're going to do now, or are you chomping at the bit ready to go for next season, knowing full well that you've got a phenomenal group behind you that if you can hold together, it's proven that it can be very effective?
First and foremost, I'm exhausted, and I know that might sound stupid, but look, the players are obviously exhausted. But I need to sit down and spend some time with my family, talk to my family about it. I know I said I wouldn't get wrapped up in anything that happened in the last sort of 7 weeks and that. And it's difficult at the moment because, like I said, when you see what the lads are capable of and see what they've achieved and see what they can deliver and give to you and give to the fans and give to the town, I think, you know, it's difficult to sort of turn that down. But I need to. I need to take some time and like I said, speak to my wife and, you know, speak to Claire, speak to my kids and see where that leaves us. But on top of that, you know, like I do want to mention, you know, like I say, I've got some really good friends who I spend some time talking to, and they've sort of given me some advice over, you know, something that's only probably just happened over the last couple of days, really. So, you know, I'm quite fortunate in that respect. I've got people who know the club and have seen, you know, and experienced it themselves. You know, I quite often call on some, you know, I call it my support network, but, you know, quite often to speak to Adi Mings, and you know, I've had some good advice from him over the last couple of days. And yeah, so look, we'll see where that leaves us. I know it's not giving you any answers that you're kind of fishing for, but no, look, I need to sit down and see where it leaves me, and just spend some time, really, like I say, just with some time with my family at the moment.
That's good stuff. Well, we'll move on to the slightly more jovial stuff, Gary. Obviously, the game when it finished, brutal 120 minutes, another hard slog. It was, I think, a real testament to yourself, to your players, to Chippenham Town as a football club that, you know, not only did your supporters stay behind to give you a big clap off in the rain there, it was always, you know, quite interesting to see that instead of supporting with, you know, celebrating with their own team, that a lot of the Ebbsfleet guys decided they wanted to come down to the far end to try and goad little Chippenham into look at what we've done and look at how big we are. I mean, that's always fun to see, isn't it, when people come down and wave their scarves in your face like they've done something special. But I suppose really they have done something special. They've taken probably the pluckiest, hard-working underdog team of the National League South this season to 120 minutes, and they've had a really good result there today, Ebbsfleet. I say they've probably deserved it on the balance. You've probably said, you know, the exact same thing, but to see your guys behind that goal, giving yourselves claps off, celebrating, wouldn't move. You know, it's absolutely tanking down here at Ebbsfleet for those that can't see it, but some 300 supporters staying off to clap you and your lads off after your achievements for the season. Those kind of special moments must stick with you as a guy in football. Yeah, definitely. And to the first part of the question, let Ebbsfleet enjoy their moment, let their fans enjoy the moment. It is a great feat. They're into the finals of the playoffs here, and potentially going to give the, you know, certainly the team and the fans, you know, possibly, you know, conference football next year. So let them enjoy their moment. You know, they've got a good side here. So, but you know, they've also recognised and clapped us as well, you know, sections of their fans and, you know, all of their players you've seen. I know it's easy for them to do because they've won the game, but they've come over and sort of said how far they've been pushed. They've got players going down with cramp and sort of, you know, stretching, and they've been able to bring on undoubted quality, which has been the difference in the game. You know, being able to bring on someone of Lee Martin's quality amazes me that he didn't even start either of the two games recently. But you know, that's where the two clubs are. They're not at polar opposites at all in terms of, you know, quality on the pitch, but in terms of, yeah, like you say, strength and depth, it's obvious. But I'd hope, like I said, you know, that the fans are proud of what's sort of, you know, they've seen over the last season, the last 18 months, 2 years, whatever it might be, because it has taken time to build that squad, and they should be proud. But I also want the fans to know that the players are absolutely, you know, they recognise the efforts that they've been to over the last few weeks to come and, like I say, be given a little area in the pouring rain and stand in that all day and cheer and shout and scream, and at times sound as loud as the home fans really, who have got the echo of, you know, a covered area down there in the nice dry. So, you know, appreciate our fans coming. You know, the group really appreciate it, and we couldn't be happier. So, you know, like, thank you, you know, to them, and a thank you from the group. Super. Well, Gary, we've just spent probably about 10-15 minutes trying to get the answer out of you for next season. We didn't get it, you know, but in terms of this season, you know, if it is the last time we see Gary Horgan in the dugout, I can collectively speak for the entire group behind the goal. I can speak to from the position of the board, who all share the same feeling, the supporters, the players that absolutely rate the hell out of you. I personally hope that Gary Horgan leads us into the next season. If it's not to be, from all of us here, mate, congratulations on the achievements for this season, congratulations on the playoffs, and once again, congratulations for cementing your own legend within Chippenham Town Football Club. It's not a word that gets thrown around done lightly. There are very, very few people that have come and embraced the football club quite the way that you have, and to do it over such a long period of time. I just personally want to thank you, Gary. I think you've really taken it to heart, and this season you've given us something that we can be really, really proud of. You know, you've given us something that we can continually get behind. You've given us something that we can follow to the middle of absolutely nowhere on Thursday night, on a Sunday afternoon. You've brought people into the club that have never seen games of football in their life before and given them something special to take forward from now. So congratulations from all of us, Gary. I know it means a lot to every single one of us that you have come over there at the end. I know that you tried to find the supporters coaches but somehow ended up in the wrong car park, such as a very typical moment. But from all of us here, mate, well done. I think it's been an absolutely fantastic season, and I hope that we see you back for next one.
Cheers, thank you.
Man, well
Thanks
done,
very much.